Here's the part that nobody really explains. How do you really send money to buy a house in the Dominican Republic safely, legally, and on time? Most people think that it is through sale or through a quick online transfer, but the reality is very different. And trust me, this part had my heart racing. This is a 20 of my 30-day YouTube challenge where I'm sharing the real process of preparing to move our family from Miami to the Dominican Republic, not after we move, but while we're still in the middle of it all. And today I am going to walk you through exactly how we wire the money from our US bank account to our attorney's account in the Dominican Republic to close on our first villa. Okay, when it was time for me to send the money, I thought I was ready until I actually sat down at the bank, and here's what threw me off, guys. The attorney in the Dominican Republic has sent me the wiring instructions, and in it included something that's called the SWIFT number. Okay, but when I got to my bank, Navy Federal Credit Union, their form didn't say SWIFT. It said BIC, and I had no idea that it was actually the same thing. So, just so that you know, a SWIFT or a BIC number works exactly the same way as the routing number works here in the US. It identifies the bank. But in that moment, I didn't know that. And when you are wiring tens of thousands of dollars internationally, you do not want to guess. So I was a little nervous, and then I learned that even though you can sometimes make transfers by phone, you cannot transfer large amounts of money like the amounts needed to buy a property. So if you actually have to go in person. So if many of you might know, the Navy Federal Credit Union doesn't have many physical branches, and most members never even walk into one. But thankfully, there's one here in Pembroke Pines. So I just drove all the way there to complete the wire in person. And then that's when they told me something that made my stomach flip. They said that this might take up to 5 business days. And here was my situation. So I wired the money on a Tuesday. I flew to Punta Cana on Wednesday, and closing was supposed to happen on Thursday or Friday on the same week. So, yes, I was very stressed out because I was only going there for 4 days. I was coming back on the weekend. So, here's what actually happened. So, you can have a chronological thing. So, you want to first, the transfer was bank to bank, international wired directly to the attorney's trust account, not a sale, not an ACH, and not a deposit into my own Dominican Republic bank account. The second portion is that the Navy Federal Credit Union, I'm pretty sure your bank might have fee as well, charges you $25 transfer fee or wire fee per wire, and I had to pay about $125 for currency conversion from US dollars into Dominican pesos. And this was already added to the amount that the lawyer sent me so that I had to just send it one time instead of paying another transaction that would cost me 25 extra dollars. So and it did not take 5 days. By the time that I landed in Punta Cana on Wednesday, the attorney emailed me early Thursday morning confirming that the funds have arrived. And I can even begin to explain, to describe the relief that I felt. Keep in mind, guys, that every bank works differently. That was my process with every federal credit union. Your experience may look slightly different depending on your US bank account here. So, here's a simple checklist to follow so that you don't panic like I did. I'm going to give you 5 steps. The first one is get wire instructions from your Dominican Republic attorney. Please try to find one that has all of these. You will make your life easier. And in these instructions, you wanted to include the bank name that you're transferring the money to in the DR, the account number, and if it's going to be in dollars or in pesos. You want to also have the SWIFT or the BIC number. By the way, BIC means Bank Identification Code. The beneficiary name, in my case, was the lawyer's name, and the purpose of the transfer. Step two, you want to ask your US bank if they need extra verification from you before you go to the bank, because some banks require the second level of approval for the Caribbean. So you want to make sure that if your bank requires that, that you have what you need when you get there so that you don't waste your time. And the step three, you want to double check every number. Read them out loud twice, four times, as many times as you need to, because when you're signing these papers, because they're going to do all the transfer, they're going to say verified, and you're going to sign your name. So once that money leaves your account, they wash their hands and it's gone. And what it says is make sure that the numbers are correct, because once they leave, it's on you. So yes, I was really freaking out because I was flying, not knowing that the money had actually arrived. In anyway, so step four, ask your attorney to confirm the arrival. So when they email you, once the money hit their account, that was the process for me. Not sure how it's gonna look for you, but by receiving that email, it really gave me uh, air back to my lungs. Okay, I was able to breathe easily. And then step five, account for the fees, both from the US bank accounts, like for us was $25, and the DR, if they have any conversion fees from dollars to pesos, account for those as well. Now, if you're planning a move like this one, wiring money, it was one or the most intimidating parts, at least for me, but with the right steps, it doesn't have to be. And hopefully this helped you out a little bit. Guys, this was day 20 of my 30-day challenge where I share the real process as we live it. Make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss next episode. I am trying to reach 30 subscribers. That's all by the end of this challenge. Tomorrow on day 21, I'm going to talk about the burnout here in the USA and how to recognize it and how I recognize it in myself, and why it became one of the biggest reasons why we chose to prepare a different life. And that one is honest and a little emotional. So please subscribe for day 21, and thank you. And I will see you on day 21. That will be on Monday or maybe the week on top, because we are going to go on vacation for Thanksgiving to Mexico for a whole week. Anyway, guys, have a great day, and have a great weekend, and have a great Thanksgiving day. And I will see you for day 21, not this Monday, but next Monday. Bye. Subscribe to my channel.